been seen cannot be unseen.
أبو طالب كان الرسول معه وأنه كان يلوط بالرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Emotional, damn it!
Before any gullible Muslims will say, the Shaykh doesn't know what he's talking about, our Shaykh is lying. Maybe our Shaykh is high on camel juice, Allahu Alam. No, Habibi, no. The Shaykh is quoting your Islamic books. And we can find this devastating fact in Tafsir al-Razi for chapter 93 of the Quran, ayah 6. We read that at the age of 8, Muhammad became an orphan. So his uncle Abu Talib took the little boy in his house. So we see now how his uncle Abu Talib one day tells the story to his brother Al-Abbas, what he was doing to the little boy Muhammad. Abu Talib said, when they were going to sleep, the uncle was ordering the boy to take off his clothes and sleep naked in his bed. His uncle was then touching his naked body and smelling it, saying how good the little kid's body smelled. Here are some questions to the Muslims who are listening, and maybe they can answer them in the comments. Why was the uncle commanding Muhammad to take off his clothes and sleep in his bed? And what was the uncle exactly doing to Muhammad, the little boy being totally naked in his uncle's bed? Do you agree that the uncle was sodomizing the Prophet as the Shaykh said? And last but not least, where was Allah to protect the Prophet as...
Firstly, we don't know from which video is this clip taken. No source or link of the video where this so-called Shaykh is claiming or exposing the truth about Islam. Just showing someone's clip and claiming it's your Shaykh claiming something won't help. That's an invalid position. Where no context, no nothing about the video is presented, just a straight-up clip of some so-called Shaykh. A narration from Abu Talib via historical reports. Abu Talib described taking the Prophet into his care, never separating from him, and sleeping in the same bed for protection. He would sleep with the Prophet in his bed. The Prophet showed reluctance but complied, asking Abu Talib to turn away, so no one sees his body, as it should not be viewed. Abu Talib was amazed. When they lay together, there was a cloth between them. The Prophet's body was extremely soft and fragrant, as if perfumed with musk. Often, the Prophet would go missing from the bed. When Abu Talib got up to look, the Prophet would call, "Here I am, O uncle, return." Al-Razi uses this to highlight the Prophet's miraculous traits, e.g., modesty, fragrance, absence during sleep implying divine protection, and Abu Talib's role as a guardian, not an abuser. This sleeping together is innocent familial care common in pre-modern societies for protection, with a cloth explicitly mentioned as a barrier for modesty. This refutes any perverse interpretation, as Al-Razi frames it as evidence of God's favor and the Prophet's elevated character. Ibn Kathir interprets the verse as God's reminder of sheltering the Prophet from orphanhood, linking it to ethical commands, e.g., treat orphans kindly. He states, that is, there can be no question of forsaking you and being displeased with you. We have, in fact, been good to you ever since the time you were born as an orphan. Up to 6 years of age, his mother nourished and looked after him. After her death, his grandfather took him and brought him up with great love. When he died, his uncle, Abu Talib, became his guardian and treated him with such rare love that no father could treat his son better. So much so that when after his proclamation to be a prophet the entire nation turned hostile, Abu Talib alone stood firm as his chief supporter for as long as 10 years.
The boy.
وأن الرسول لما نكح زوجة أبو طالب في القبر كان يريد أن ينتقم من أبي طالب.
And of course we have the receipts. We find this in كنز العمال في سنن الأقوال والأفعال in volume 13 on page 636. In this Hassan good hadith, hadith number 37608, we read, narrated from Ibn Abbas, when Fatima the mother of Ali died, Rasulullah took off his shirt and put it on her and had sex with her in her grave. When the dirt covered her, some of them, meaning the Sahaba, said, "O Rasulullah, we never saw you doing this to anyone before." As you see, they were very shocked. He said, I put my shirt on her so she will wear the clothes of paradise, and I, Muhammad, had sex with her in her grave to relieve her from the pressure of the grave, for she was the best of Allah's creation after Abu Talib. So Muhammad had sex with the wife of his own uncle Abu Talib, and as you heard the Shaykh saying, this was out of...
And regarding the claim that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, committed forbidden act in the grave, is just a big misinterpretation and false assertion of the word lay in Arabic. I have exposed this claim in detail in this video, so do check it out. And also check out the previous video on this guy as well. And now let's spice things up a little. As we know that Rob the Bastard was misinterpreting the word sleep or lay in the hadiths. Rob, I want to ask you that your God was sleeping with his companions on a boat. So that means... And also Satan was behind him for 40 days. So... I want to see Rob answer these questions. Jazakallah khair for watching,